On this 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 with the 6.6 diesel, P0087 is a fuel rail pressure fault. In plain language, the truck may be seeing rail pressure that is lower than the controller expects under the conditions where the monitor runs. The driver may notice reduced power, a hard start, stalling, or a no start, but the diagnostic path does not start by condemning a pump. The possible fault areas can include fuel supply, return flow, the rail pressure sensor signal, pressure regulators, injectors, fuel quality, leaks, restrictions, or the high-pressure pump. Work it in order and let the pressure data decide where you go next. Start with the basic system checks, then follow a structured diagnostic approach. Before chasing P0087 by itself, make sure the operating gates make sense. The engine has to be running, the low fuel indicator needs to be off. Ignition voltage is listed as greater than 11 volts. Ambient air temperature is warmer than -7 degrees Celsius, which is 19 degrees Fahrenheit. And barosensor 2 is greater than 60 kilopascals, which is about 8.7 psi. The monitor logic also uses calibrated range timing, including greater than 1 second and greater than 9 seconds conditions. So treat those as monitor gates, not as a substitute for the actual pressure tests. For this fault group, additional actions can include the starter being disabled for the current drive cycle and the engine going into shutdown mode. With the ignition on and the vehicle in service mode, check for fuel pump driver, fuel pressure sensor, fuel pump, and regulator control related codes. If those are present, check what they mean first, and do not shortcut straight into the P0087 pressure routine. If no related code is set, move to the base fuel pressure check with the engine idling. At idle, look at the scan tool fuel pressure sensor value. The expected range here is 370 to 450 kPa, 54 to 65 psi. If it is less than 370 kPa, 54 psi, go into fuel system diagnosis. If it is greater than 450 kPa, 65 psi, go into fuel return system diagnosis. If it is between 370 and 450 kPa, 54 and 65 psi, reproduce the operating conditions and verify whether P0087 resets. If the code does not reset, this path is all okay. If it does reset, keep going with the next tests in this diagnostic sequence. Turn the vehicle off and check for the conditions that can make the pressure reading or actual rail pressure wrong. Look for a poor connection or skewed fuel rail pressure sensor signal, leaking or restricted injectors, leaking or restricted fuel rail or feed pipe issues, and contaminated or poor quality fuel. If one of those conditions is present, repair or replace as necessary. If no condition is found, continue to the commanded regulator checks. With the engine idling, command Fuel Pressure Control Regulator 1 to increase and decrease. Fuel Rail Pressure Sensor 1 should change with each command. If it does not change, replace Fuel Pressure Regulator 1. If it does change, command Fuel Pressure Control Regulator 2 to increase and decrease. Again, Fuel Rail Pressure Sensor 1 should change with each command. If it does not change, replace Fuel Pressure Regulator 2. If it does change, command Fuel Rail Pressure to increase and decrease. The rail pressure maximum at idle is listed as 120 MPa, 17,405 psi. And the decision point here is the comparison. Desired fuel rail pressure and fuel rail pressure sensor 1 need to be within 2,000 kPa, 290 psi of each other. If they are not within 2,000 kPa, 290 psi, move into high-pressure side fuel system diagnosis. If they are within 2,000 kPa, 290 psi, the next step in this path is to test or replace the high-pressure fuel pump. After the repair, verify the repair and confirm the code stays gone. Keep the verification separate from the fuel system testing. First finish the diagnostic branch, then rerun the conditions needed to prove P0087 does not reset. The takeaway is simple. For P0087, do not guess at the high-pressure pump until the related codes, low side pressure, physical fuel conditions, regulator response, and desired versus actual rail pressure have all been checked in order. For more diagnostic training, visit stepdiagnostics.com.